hope you're having a good day, and if not, I hope I can make it a little better. Did you miss me? I missed you. Let's start things with a bang and open this £120 watercolor mystery box. That's $150 to you guys who speak USD. So first things first, just in case you don't know, a quick rundown on who Ohh Deer are. And just in case you're curious, I'm not sponsored. This all came out of my own money. So everything is going to be completely honest. Ohh Deer are an online stationery shop. I think they're probably most famous for their Paper Gang subscription box. I have tried one in the past. I think it'll be up here somewhere. Please do let me know if you'd like to see me try another one. I am always curious about new stationery. And basically what the Paper Gang box is, as it suggests, a blind monthly box that gets sent to you with a different theme every month. You don't know what it's going to be until it turns up, and it's got like washi tape, pens, paper, etc, etc, etc. However, they do also have a side gig company, I suppose you could say, called Artful, and their tagline is art school in a box, and that's basically what it is. They sell themed boxes which are basically little art lessons. So say you picked the watercolor box, it would have watercolor paints in, brushes, paper, and quite a hefty instruction manual on how to learn watercolor techniques. Then say you went back and you bought the watercolor box again, it would be the exact same items. It isn't like a scrawler box where it's a mystery and items change. So I was on their website during their sale, the Ohh Deer website, not the Artful website, when I saw this item listed. £120 worth of Artful watercolour items for £20. That was it. There was no description listing the content, there was no image, nothing. Literally just that. £20, Artful watercolour set. I was like, this was like a horrible mistake. But I also thought, it's only £20. So I got it. And here it is. I'm a little concerned that it's in an Ohh Deer box, but I'm thinking that's because there was so many items that they didn't have an Artful box to match the size. And it is pre-opened because, honesty time, I have actually, well, recorded this section once, or thought I had recorded this section once. I have in fact recorded the entire video and not pressed record on this section. But hey, look, I can pretend that it's all new to me, if you can. So let's open and see what's inside. All the caterpillars. Okay, right, I'm gonna move the box to the side and take stuff out and we can look at it together. So, first things is this beautifully coloured tin of what I'm assuming is watercolour paints. Let's zoom in a little bit. It's got a good weight to it. If we have a look at the back, it's got a handy dandy thumb holder, so you can hold it like this whilst you're doing your au plein air painting. Should we look inside? Oh, that's nice. So we've got a nice mixing palette section here, and another mixing palette section here with smaller areas. I quite like that. We have 24.5 pounds of paint. They're held in by clips. If you pull these clips here, there's even a cat hair. There's even more mixing room here, so you could like literally use it as a palette. If I pull out a little bit. So if you put your finger in here, you can literally hold it like this and like dabble your paint on and go bloop 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 bloop, which I think is really cool. So that's that. Let's put that back. And what I quite like about these clips is like they're not moving around out of place. I quite like that. When I do that, I use magnets, so it's quite nice to see a different option. So let's put these over here and have another rummage. And next we have Artful masking fluid. It says it's 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters, made in China. Don't get mad at China. And it says it's for masking, it's removable, it's fast drying, it's stain free, and it's latex free. Next up, we've got a brush. Let's see if I can find them all. Okay, these did all come with like these plastic lids on them, but I'm not putting them back on. So we have 5 very high quality feeling brushes. They feel really good in the hand. They're wood body with what I think is a metal bite here, and then it doesn't say, but I believe these are acrylic brush hairs rather than animal, so cruelty free. And we have 2 round ones. One is ever so slightly larger than the other. I'm not quite sure you need them that size together. I feel like you probably want a much smaller one or a much bigger one, but those are the sizes we've got. We've got this chisel nib one. I'm sorry, I don't really know the names of brushes. Please feel free to put in the comment section below the names of the brushes. We've got this one here, which is like a flat brush. I think it's called a filbert, so that's quite nice. And then we've got this big boy here, which I like. See, this is what I like. See, these two are like 2 clearly very different sizes. They're going to get 2 different jobs done. I would have liked that with the round brushes, but like they do all feel really good quality. So I'm very impressed by those. And finally in the box we have this big boy. So let's move everything out of the way so we can have a look at this. Okay, and this says Artful A4 premium heavyweight watercolor paper, 25 sheets, 30 GSM, acid-free textures, made in the UK. We like that. We like to support local industry. But then it does also say it's suitable for watercolor, pencils, pen, ink, calligraphy, pastel, oil pastel. Makes me a little bit anxious when they say it's watercolor paper, but then it's actually mixed media paper. I think there's definitely a place for mixed media paper, but when I want watercolor paper, I kind of like it to like be watercolor paper, if that makes sense. But let's have a look inside. It's slightly off-white. It feels lovely and thick. Listen to that. I don't know if you can see how thick it is. It's almost card. It's really nice. It's got a slight tooth on the side and slightly toothier on this side. So depending on if you want a smooth surface or a rough surface, they've got you covered. But you know what? There's only one way to tell if this stuff is any good, and that's to get swatching. So silly me didn't record the larger swatch sheet, which I'll be using to refer to in the majority of this video. However, I always do a smaller swatch sheet, which I include with every watercolor tin I have. So I've always got reference wherever I am, and this is the swatch sheet I'm recording for you here. So here are the final swatches, and in general, I'm really happy with them. A lot of them went down really thick and pigmented, though I did realise while swatching that nowhere on the packaging does it say whether the paints are light fast or not. You can do a test, which is to do a swatch like this and put it out in the light and do a second swatch which you keep in the shade, and I know after a couple of weeks, a month or so, you can see if the one that's been in the sun has changed at all. And if you're really worried, just reserve these for your watercolour sketch pad. A few colours I was a little bit about though, like Hooker's Green, Brown and Sea Blue. Didn't matter how much water I put onto them, they weren't going to become as saturated as the others. And I think it's more that the others really spoiled me with how saturated they were, that I felt a little bit disappointed when something like Brown happened. I'm still not a convert to white paint. It's fine, you know, it's fine, but I just don't really see its place in a watercolour set when you can see the variety of colours you can get from a single pan of watercolour paint. You really don't need the white. And to go on from that, I'm a little bit concerned that the turquoise has white in it to lighten it up. When I was adding water to it, I did notice it went very milky in the pan. So that's just something to consider. Oh yes, and one last thing. Umber came out a bit grainy. And I'm not sure if I think of that in a good way. It felt like there were little bits of wood almost, so that's just something to be aware of. But apart from that, I think these paints are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now I think we should have a go at trying the brushes. This is on a different piece of watercolor paper. It's not paper that came with the set, so if the paints react differently, that isn't Artful's fault. And first of all, I think we should have a go at using the masking fluid. I did have to open this bottle with a jar opener. I'll put a picture here if you don't know what a jar opener is. They are lifesavers. Just to warn you, I have never used masking fluid before. Ooh, ugh, can you see that? Oh, it smells! Oh, it smells! It smells! Oh no! Regret! Okay. Let's just put some down and then just put the lid back on. Alright, I don't know if I... Oh. Oh no, it's nasty. I panicked. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna blob some down. That's the... Okay, that should do. It doesn't say how long for it to dry. So I'll let it dry. No, no one told me it would smell like that. Oh my gosh, is it glue? Oh, that's so nasty. Let's test out the different brushes, see what they can do, and then when this is dried, we'll put some paint over it and yeah. Oh. Okay. So what colour? We're going with cobalt blue. That was a nice one. So there we go. Oh, wait, I should write down what these brushes are as well, shouldn't I? So, oh, I know. Let's use the brush to do it. So this is a... What are you? You are a 3. Okay. Next up is the 4. We'll do them all in the cobalt blue, so they all have a fair opportunity. Yeah, so 4 is basically just a thicker version of 3. But there isn't too much difference in them. I think if you look at them here, you can see that there isn't that much difference in them. Okay, who's next? Number wise. So number 7 is this chiseled one. it's quite nice. You can get a thin line and a thick line. So you are number 7. I think that would be quite nice if you did calligraphy. Okay, number 8 is the one I'd been doing all my swatches with. So I feel pretty familiar with number 8, but that's quite nice. You get a nice lot of paint on number 8. Good for covering a large amount of paper, I think. And the last one in the set is number 15, the big boy. I do like a big brush. My preferred kind of brush is a round brush. Let me know what kind of brush is your favorite. But I figure this one's gonna just be even wider spreadier than the number 8. Oh, it's even wider than the pan. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, that really covers some ground. And you are 15. Let's do the color wheel first of all. So let's go in with yellow. Ooh. Some of these are almost poster painty. So I don't know if they have been thickened with white paint. Like this yellow is it's almost gouache-like. I don't know if that's something you want to be aware of. It really is going down like gouache. Next, let's have red. Okay. Yeah, so this also feels quite poster painted, like it could be gouache-like. And then we'll go in with the cobalt blue. Ooh. Whereas that feels a bit more watercolory. But yeah, these definitely feel like they have a gouache quality to them. So be aware of that if you do get them. Okay, let's have it go at seeing if we can do a nice blend. I really like the emerald green. I think we'll do emerald. Let's try tree green into emerald green into sea blue. So tree green, if I can remember which one you are. You're tree green. Tree green. Very nice. Tree green into emerald green. Oops. Oops, excuse me. More tree green happening in here. Oh, that's quite a nice blend. Oh, that's a lovely colour. Okay. And we'll do that into, what did I say? Into sea blue. Into you. Yeah, sea blue definitely doesn't want to show up to the party as much as some of the other colours. So okay, let's throw cobalt blue in at the end. Oh, there we go, that's nice. You almost don't need the sea blue. I feel like you could probably mix the sea blue. But there you go, they blend quite nicely, I think. Shall we see what this white does? See how the white goes over. If my suspicions are correct, that some of these are poster painty, gouache rather than just your average watercolor. In theory, it should go over quite thick, stand up for itself. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? I think that's quite interesting. And my theory is that the turquoise, that the turquoise is white based also. So I feel like the turquoise would also do that. Aha, I wasn't wrong. So I think half of these are gouache. I don't think they're entirely watercolors. So in theory, using this theory, we could make some pastel colors out of this. Should we have a little go at that? I really like the rose red, which is this one. Yes. So we've got rose red here, which is a gorgeous color. Oh. This is how it looks if you just like let it down with water. But I bet if we mixed it with the white, we could make a gouache pink. I have a feeling. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Absolutely. I'm gonna say, yeah, they are pretty good. The brushes in particular, I really like. They feel good in the hand. I prefer a round brush. I have the option of 2 round brushes. They were pretty similar in size, but that's okay. But I think it's nice that they've given you a variety of brushes that you can choose from, so you can decide for yourself. And honestly, if I was to go into an art shop, I feel like these brushes would come to around £20 alone in the UK. So I can't be disappointed with that. The paper is really nice, really thick. It held up well to a lot of water. This stuff smells, I hate it. It still hasn't dried. I probably will never be using it, but we'll see. The tin the paints come in is really sturdy. It's an aesthetically pleasing colour. It had the ring at the bottom, which is useful, so you can hold it in your hand. It has these 2 mixing areas and a third one under here if you've removed the paints from it. The paints clip in nice and solidly, so they're not going to move around anywhere. In general, the quality of the paints is pretty good. Some of the paints didn't want to turn up to the party, such as Hooker's Green, Brown, Sea Blue is doing all right now. Some of the paints I have a big feeling are gouache based. The titanium white and the turquoise in particular, I have a feeling are actually gouache. Interpret that as you will. I would happily and will happily use all of these products, apart from this stuff. Yes! Like I said, these brushes alone, in my opinion, are worth the £20. So this is all a bonus. You can go to somewhere like Temu or Wish or Amazon and buy like an beginner's art set for like £20, and it will not be the quality that these are. If I was going to recommend either doing something like getting a Temu or Wish set, I would say no. Wait until Artful or Ohh Deer has a sale and get these. These are much better quality. These are much nicer. Don't know if they're light fast, but the ones from Wish will also not be light fast. So, So for this final question, I put my investigator and accountant hats on and went onto the Ohh Deer and Artful websites to see if I could find each of these items separately, get their prices and determine whether the box actually was worth the £120 or $150 advertised price. So let's start with the paints. You cannot buy the half pan separately, however you can buy some tubes, but if you wanted this specific half pan set, it would cost you £49.95, which is around $64. The paper cost £19.95, which is around $25. The brushes were a bit harder to find. I could only find this large filbert brush on the website. and that brush came to £15.95. They did sell these other brushes but in sets, so it was a bit harder to work out their prices, but you know what, I'm going to be really generous and I'm going to put them all down as £15.95, which is around $20. So the 5 brushes in total would come to £79.75, which is around $102. Now, thank goodness, the Artful website no longer sells this masking fluid, but I did my due diligence and I went onto the Hobbycraft website, which is... Hobbycraft is kind of like the most friendliest entry-level art shop, so it's the kind of place that's on every high street, the kind of place you would go to start your watercolor adventure if you didn't want to look online. And they sell De La Rowney masking fluid, 75 millilitres instead of this 30 millilitres, for £5.30. So 30 millilitres would be cheaper than that, but you know what, I'm going to be generous again and say that this is around £5.30's worth of masking fluid, which is around $7. So when you total all of that up, it comes to, and I do appreciate I'm being slightly generous on this, £154.95, which is around $200. So, did this box meet its advertised price of £120? Absolutely. I think even if I wasn't being generous on the pricing of the brushes and the fluid, it would still reach its £120. So I am more than happy that I got what I paid for. Well, the light is dying fast here, so how about we come back next week where we use all of these items, apart from this can go, to make a beautiful painting. What do you say? Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. I'd love to know what your favourite part was. If you could leave a comment in the comment section below. If you could like, subscribe, turn on all notifications and share this video, that would be amazing. You can follow me at Enchanted Violin on Instagram, TikTok and Threads. Links will be in the description box below, as well as links to my online comic companions, my Patreon and my Ko-fi. I'd love to see you there. And I'll see you next time. Bye!